Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you say categorically,
Mr.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave Vs MSM. The title of today's presentation is It's All About Surveillance and It's All About Leverage. We've spoken about this before. It is the foundation of how the deep state gets their policies and their agendas through our federal government, through our court system, through our state governments, through local governments. It's all about leverage, control. And the basis for that leverage and control is surveillance. Most of it illegal, a violation of the constitutional rights, not just of the Tucker Carlsons of the world, not just of the Donald Trumps of the world, but of you and of me and of every American. It's that simple. Tucker Carlson has recently brought forward evidence and information that he and his staff apparently were illegally surveilled. This is as of the past couple weeks. Quote, the Biden administration is spying on us. We've confirmed that, end quote. Well, this is really old news, especially to those of you who've been listeners of our videos over the past 4 or 5 years, and in particular of the radio show, Operation Freedom, which airs every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. It's live and it's free. You can join us. Just go to davejanda.com, hit the Listen Live button, takes you to Wham Talk 1600 streaming service, hit play. Great guests, great analysis. If you missed the show, the podcasts are available on our website, davejanda.com. It's part of our subscription platform. Biggest bang for the buck in all the internet. We hope you become part of our freedom family. But let me take you back. Operation Freedom, the radio show, first aired in October 2010, coming up on 11 years ago. One of the first guests I had on the show was an IT expert who also had worked for the government by the name of Paul Rosenberg. In the first time he was on our show, Paul spoke about how the NSA and other federal government agencies were monitoring not just a select few, but tens of millions of Americans' phone calls, internet activities, financial transactions done over the internet, text messages, just to name a few. And he said this and said it has been occurring for years before that interview in 2010. Many years. In fact, two friends of mine who are guests on this platform, Bill Benny and Kirk Wiebe, resigned their high-level positions when the NSA in 2001 because those very courageous individuals blew the whistle on what the government had been doing in violating the constitutional rights of millions of Americans. So it's interesting that here we are in July of 2021, and Tucker Carlson is just coming to the realization that, well, in this case, the Biden administration is spying on us, and we've confirmed that? Tucker, welcome to the game. Some of us have been talking about that for almost 11 years. And if you listen to courageous patriots like Bill Benny and Kirk Wiebe, they've been talking about it for 20 years. This is how it goes. This is from Breitbart. Tucker Carlson said the federal government was spying on him and those associated with his program, which Carlson said was revealed through a whistleblower within the government. According to Carlson, the proof was the whistleblower revealed details of a story they had been working on that could have only been known through text and emails. Fair enough. The whistleblower, who was in a position to know, repeated back to us information about a story we're working on that could only have come directly from texts and emails. There's no other possible source for that information, period. The NSA captured it without our knowledge for political reasons. The Biden administration is spying on us. We've confirmed that. This morning, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request asking for all information the NSA and other agencies, that's important, and other agencies have gathered about this show. We did it mostly as formality. We contacted the press office of the FBI and the NSA. Probably should have called the CIA too, by the way, and DIA. We don't expect to hear much back. Only Congress can force transparency on the intelligence agencies, and they should immediately. Spying on opposition journalists is incompatible with democracy. True. If they are doing it to us, and again, they are definitely doing it to us, they're almost certainly doing it to others. You think? This is scary, and we need to stop it right away. Look, folks, what Tucker Carlson is talking about is a tip of the iceberg type of situation. It's not just, and it's bad enough, the NSA. It's a violation of his constitutional rights, his staff's constitutional, all of our constitutional rights. But again, this is something that the deep state, the puppets of the deep state that are hired by the deep state to target individuals who bring this information forward, this is what panics them. Because this is the method they use to control and leverage people, their illegal surveillance platforms. Now look, if you don't believe me, it's fair, no problem. Go back to another set of interviews we did with General Tom McInerney, Admiral Ace Lyons. On March 19th of 2017, General McInerney, with the support of Admiral Lyons, came on my radio show live and spoke about the illegal surveillance that was occurring not just within the NSA, because there are ways you can document that illegal surveillance. Footprints are left in the NSA system if someone's doing something illegally. But there's a whole other set of surveillance systems that have been used by other agencies called parallel platforms that illegally surveil people, political opponents, other businesses. But in these parallel platforms, no footprints are left, which frankly makes them even more sinister. And General McInerney, with the support of Admiral Lyons, through information they had received through intelligence sources within the military, confirmed March 19, 2017, that these parallel platforms existed and were being used, one of which was called the Hammer. It was that system that was used to illegally surveil Donald Trump, General Flynn, hundreds, thousands of others. What made that particular parallel platform sinister is that initially it had been used for positive purposes, if you will, of monitoring terrorists, but then it was, if you will, commandeered by Obama and Brennan and Clapper and Biden and Comey and Mueller for their own political purposes, for control and leverage, to get information on people. Now, if you don't believe me, if you go to our website, davejanny.com, the top cyber warfare expert in the world, Dr. Kishveras Naya, under penalty of perjury, signed an affidavit and testified. And he spoke about this, of how this illegal surveillance, these parallel platforms, are not only exist, but how they're used. That document is on my homepage at davejanny.com. And if you don't believe him, then there's an interview I did with General Michael Flynn, who's the former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. And in that interview, which is also at davejanny.com, free, right on the homepage, I present Dr. Naya's statement under oath to General Flynn, who, by way of his background, has all the information, has seen all the information in front of him about surveillance platforms. And he agreed with Dr. Naya. It's interesting because I and many others believe that those illegal surveillance platforms were turned on General Flynn to, if you will, frame him by Obama and Biden and Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Mueller. And how do we know that? Because the call that got General Flynn, quote, in trouble or became suspect was a very legal call he had with the Russian ambassador after he was named the designate for National Security Advisor in December of 2015. And no classified information was discussed at that. But the false accusation was made that he shouldn't have done that. And here is who he called. Well, in order to determine that he even spoke to the Russian ambassador, there had to be some surveillance, illegal surveillance. And there had to be an unmasking of him. Enter the former director of national intelligence, John Ratcliffe. So as all this was winding down, and while everybody was preoccupied with impeachment and all this other stuff, Ratcliffe came out and addressed that surveillance that occurred of General Flynn. And what did he say? He said it was not, quote, it was not a product of our intelligence community, end quote. What does that tell you? It tells you that illegal surveillance occurred. And it tells you that whatever apparatus was used to illegally surveil General Flynn had been commandeered by a group of individuals. And who was talking about that phone call before it became college? Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Biden, Comey, Mueller. There you go. I bring this up for the following reason. As sinister and horrible and evil and illegal as it is what occurred to Tucker Carlson, it has been going on for many years. Not many weeks, not many years. And this Tucker Carlson issue is the tip of the iceberg. They want you to think that it's all this. It's all in this little corridor. There's some bad people in the NSA. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll accept that as fact. However, that's as far as it goes. Wrong. And you cannot buy into that. Because if you just take that little slice of pie, it's like being a surgeon and going after a tumor, a cancer, and just taking a little sliver of it and say, we got all the cancer. No. Until all of this illegal surveillance, including the parallel platforms, is stopped and the people are prosecuted, this is going to continue. But look, whenever the deep state gets caught, here's what happens. Things go missing. Oh, sound familiar? Hillary Clinton's emails that implicated her in many different aspects of illegality, we lost them. Can you imagine if you were audited by the IRS and they come to see you and they want your documentation? You go, just accept this as fact. I lost it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what would happen to you and me and anyone else if you're not part of the elites? But whenever they get busted, we lost it. GOP senators demand answers after 60% of the phones used by the Mueller probe go missing. You think maybe they went missing because they were speaking on their phones and on their texts about the information they gleaned and obtained from illegal surveillance? The tip of the iceberg of which Tucker Carlson was talking about? 2 GOP senators, that would be Johnson and Grassley, are demanding answers after 59 of the 96 phones assigned to special counsel Robert Mueller's team appear to have gone missing following their ill-fated investigation into Russia collusion. Yeah. You think? I think. This is what we find on so many fronts. You know you're on a hot trail when they start claiming executive privilege. They start claiming, we're so sorry we lost that information. Right. They want you to think they got everything under control, the deep state does. That it's all... I don't believe that's the case. Just look at how they're reacting to things transpiring in Arizona and Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Just look how they're responding to information coming out of health agencies associated with the United States government. They're panicked and they're desperate. And the single most effective way to protect yourself and your family is to become knowledgeable about what's really going on. And you will not, underline not, get it through the bought-off lamestream fake media. That's why independent media sources are so important. This is why I spend 17 hours a day, every day, working on our platform at davejanda.com in Operation Freedom. Research, networking with my contacts I've developed over 35 years, going through the literature, both medical and whatever the topic might be. It is critical for your health and welfare and safety and security and freedoms and liberty that you go to independent media sources and you save yourself at least $100. Just stop your cable. You are being propagandized 24/7 through that tube. Keep the tube. Just use your Wi-Fi and hook in, or whatever you want to use. Hook in your whatever independent media channels you want to dial into. And if you so desire to turn into ours, we're there. DaveJanda.com. We got the free side. We got the public side. We have the subscription side. Subscription side gets you extra shows, extra content, extra analysis, all the archives to all of our shows, and it's a way to support our freedom-based efforts. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.